Welcome to Game Talk from the Bench. I am your host, Drew Bretto. Today I'm facing technical difficulties, so you won't be able to see me. But today I'm here with my guests, James Bretto and Devin DeHaro. Devin's my basketball teammate. And today we're going to be talking about our high school basketball game that we just played, um, as well as some breaking news. So before we get into the game, Devin, before the game, do you have any pregame rituals or like pregame like superstitions that you follow or do?
Some things I like to do before the game. Usually before I get to the school, I usually like to say a little prayer before I walk in and stuff. After that, I'll put my clothes on, get my AirPods in, walk in the gym, just try to lock in. Uh, and then yeah, that's that's probably it. Just try to get everybody on the team like hyped and ready to go, locked in, and win the game.
All right, so before this kind of like ties into my last question, but like, how does your mindset change like before the game and then like during the game?
Before the game, I try to go in like thinking I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but just trying to think I'm the best. I'm like the best one out there. I'm just gonna go out, do my thing. And then throughout the game, I'm not gonna lie, it does change. Sometimes I can get into my own head a lot after little mistakes. I try to keep myself going. Sometimes I get a little too down, or you'll be right there and give me some motivation and stuff, so that gets me going and stuff like that. But yeah, it definitely does change from the start and the end for sure.
And then how? So a couple weeks ago, we played our crosstown rivals, and big game, super packed, and even today was a big game, against an undefeated team. So how do you prepare for big matchups like that?
Especially our rival Sobrato. I mean, we know how it's been for the past 3 years. Been pretty tough games, intense games too. I mean, you got both crowds going at each other. Players talking and stuff. It's a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. Honestly, I just try again. I just try to like lock myself in and just another game. Just go do my thing, shoot the ball. You know, drive and stuff. Stuff like that. Um,
So, Devin, what do you mean by what you know how it's been the past 3 years? What could you share with us over those last 3 years between the crosstown rivals?
well, Sobrato, I mean, they've been pretty tough team. We haven't those past in those 3 years. Live Oaks lost every single game. Every game we've never beat them before. So they're coming in hot. They're coming in ready to go. They're already thinking, oh, we're gonna smoke them and stuff. Not only that, sometimes you'll get some little talking from both schools a little bit before the game, leading up to the game on social media and stuff. Uh, and us, I mean, the players obviously take note of that, and try to use that, as fuel. Um, but yeah, so the past 3 years, it's been tough. I mean, losing. Sometimes they're close games. I'm trying to think. Last year, no, were they in our? We didn't play
I think
them.
it was we played them twice last year, I believe.
Yeah,
I know on the second time we played them, they beat us by like 20.
that was
And
our senior night, huh?
yeah,
Your senior night. Yeah, I remember at home. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, we tried to put up a good fight, but they just blew away at the end. Like I remember, let's see, both my freshman and sophomore year, we played them. Um, I was on JV. We'd battle halftime. We'd be up by 10, 15 points, and then at the second half, we just lose it, and we'd lose by 10 points, and it's just like, oh man, like we had it, like we were there, just wasn't able to pull it out in the end.
Yeah, how long does that chatter go on after the game?
Oh, oh, it goes. Oh, it carries on through after the game. It'll bragging rights, right? So you'll see them every once in a while outside of school, and they'll say their stuff, and it's like can't really do much about it, right? Just wait till the next game.
Yeah,
But yeah, it definitely carries out. even
Yeah,
beyond the
the
game.
game a few weeks ago was like you won the championship, right? Taking pictures on
Oh,
their home court. I'm sure they're going to remember that,
oh yeah.
right?
Oh, I already know. When we play them, well, we play them next
Next
Wednesday,
week.
Next
right?
Wednesday.
Next
Yeah.
Wednesday. Oh, I already know they're gonna want it. They're gonna come in at full energy. I already know the crowd's gonna be crazy. They're gonna want it because that was a crazy game. And trust, they've never lost to us, and I know that hurt, and I know they're gonna want it real bad.
Yeah, you could tell. You could see it on their faces after the game.
Oh yeah, they were all sad, and some of them were crying. It was I've never seen that before. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
I
I mean that shows they care. It shows that
Yeah,
it means a
yeah,
lot and stuff like that as well, right? But I mean, as long as you put your whole effort into it, right? I mean, what else could you do?
yeah, yeah.
All right, now we're gonna get into the game we just played today. I'm pull up the box score, so it should be popping up right now.
Yeah.
So entering this game, they were 6-0.
Mhm.
You know, if you look at the last time we played them, we lost by 2. We came back in the third quarter. No, we came back in the fourth quarter. Actually, last time we played them,
Yeah, we did.
and today is just. I mean, we were there. I mean, we lost the first quarter by 4. We lost the second quarter by 2. And then we lost the third quarter by 3, and then we just lost. And then we won the fourth by 3, but it's just not enough. So, what were your thoughts on the game? Like, especially since you're the one playing, I'm the one off the bench, and I watched. What are your thoughts during the game?
Well, I'm thinking, see, given the fact that we lost them by 2 last time, I was just thinking like, we could hang with this team if we do what we do and play how we know how we could play. We definitely could hang with this team, if not beat this team. Um, I just think what killed us, and I'll speak for myself as well, turnovers. I feel like turnovers played a pretty huge factor in that. I know going into halftime, we had 10 turnovers, and off those 10 turnovers, they got 13 points off those. So that
Yeah,
was pretty huge. I'm not gonna lie.
that was a big halftime discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Darren, I was taking out some notes during the game and things like that, kind of getting ready for this discussion and stuff,
Mhm.
and I had the same comments, right? I had my keys to the second half that I wrote down was first item was no turnovers. And keeping up that defense. You guys were turning the ball over, but you were playing very good defense, right? And that's why you were able to still keep it within striking distance. Otherwise, it could have really got out of hand,
Yeah.
right? And I put another note on there is you needed to keep that energy up, right? So,
Mhm.
so you're right. I mean, I didn't know those stats that you were just kind of speaking about, those 10 turnovers in the first half, but yeah, you could definitely tell that.
Yeah, it was a little rough. It was that, and let's see how many three we had. A lot of threes attempted and only
Yeah,
made 2 out of the threes we made. I mean,
You only
not
made
was it
2 threes really
only
all
2
game.
threes all
was
game
it
out of
2 or did
all
he
the
say
shots.
5? I don't
Uh,
remember. I can't remember if he said 2. We made 2 or 5, but yeah, it was just a
or
rough
maybe
shooting
I'm
night from
thinking.
3.
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about okay. So I'm thinking about going into half. We only had 2 because was it 2?
Yeah, I think we had 5 total.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was a
I'm
rough
sorry.
shooting
I was thinking
night
about
from
going
3.
into half.
Yeah.
So we had 5
So
total threes made.
5
But
total.
yeah,
You're setting me up pretty good here, Devin, because I was, like I said, I was taking down some notes. My first quarter notes, right?
Uh,
Don't settle for 3-point shots. I think that was a key difference, and Drew, let me know what your thoughts were. But I think that was a key difference between this game and the game you played the game you played them last time. You guys were driving to the bucket,
mhm.
and you were scoring, and I think that was one of the differences there. So that was one of my notes from the first quarter. One of the second notes I had on here was Devin, take the rhythm 3. I think you had a wide open 3, and I think you thought
I,
about it
I
too much,
I did.
right?
I do it right when I shot it. Right when I shot, I was like, I thought about it too much, and sure enough, I missed it. Yeah, I caught it, and I think it's almost like I had too much space, too much time, and thought about it, and I was like, yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
the one in the first quarter in the corner, right? You
yeah,
had
Yep.
all the
yeah, in the
time in the
corner.
world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you
No,
had all
but
that. Yeah, go
I
ahead, Trent.
definitely agree. I definitely agree with you. I mean, the first quarter you see it was only what 10-6. I mean, I definitely saw we were three happy. I mean, I guess I get it. Our best shots were the threes in that first quarter, but we just couldn't hit any.
Yeah, I mean, we
So,
were.
I mean, defensively we were great. I mean, 10 point giving up
Yeah,
10 points in the quarter is great, but only scoring six is not good. And I believe all six of those points came from our point guard, Nate Lozano. I believe he got
yeah.
an and one
Yeah, it
transition
did. They
layup,
did
and
all
then
six from the first. Yeah.
he had like a step back three.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe off the bench we definitely were. I thought we were three happy, and then talking about energy, our assistant coach, and even after the game, talking about energy, and I as a guy on the bench, I know you guys feed off the energy, but we also feed off the energy that the guys on the court bring. So it's like when they talk about energy, to me, it's like a two-way street, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Devin, how do you get amped up during this game? Is it by hitting a big shot, or hitting like a three, or is it the crowd, or is it the guys on the bench that get you going? Like, what is it?
Honestly, it's a mix. I mean, I like all of it. I'm gonna be honest. Hitting a big shot, always feels good and kind of gets your ego up a little bit. The crowd is a huge help. The bench. I mean, when it's all. I mean, sometimes you get both. You get the crowd and the bench, and it's the best thing ever. I like me personally. I thrive off either or.
So Devin, how were you feeling in the third quarter after that up and under that you knocked in?
Oh, I was.
Yes, that was
Oh,
nice.
I thought.
That was
Oh,
nice.
That was nice. That was
yeah.
nice. So
I
that's
saw your face expression. You were like surprised that went in. 'Cause, like, a couple other times before you tried doing that, they rimmed out.
Yeah,
yeah.
I wasn't really making my shots around the basket earlier. And I just in my head I was like, okay, I'm just gonna drive. I'm gonna get the ball. I'm gonna drive. I was going, and I see these two step up, and I was like, up under, and it went in. I was like, oh my god, I got it. I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
But oh, dude, it felt great. I mean, you hear the crowd go ooh, and you see you make it. It's like it's a good feeling. I mean, I liked
Yeah.
it a lot.
Yeah, so personally, I have to go from one great play to I think it was maybe just either the next play or a couple plays later.
Uh,
I think you were doing a little cherry picking there
I
on one
was.
of the you right. They tossed
I
you the
was.
ball, and then what happened? you you lost it,
Lo-
right? You
Yeah, I
no
did.
bucket at the
Yeah,
end of
yeah,
the
I
day.
did. He threw it, and I was running, and I caught the ball, and I dropped it, and I was like, "Oh man," I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Like that was like that could have been a bucket right there, a quick little bucket, get back on defense. But yeah, I dropped it.
Yeah.
I was yeah, got in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, my notes in that third quarter was rebounding. You guys
Mhm.
needed to rebound.
Wow.
You
As a
guys are
team,
not
yeah.
rebounding as a team, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it's definitely a team effort, not just the big men's, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, because I mean, I know Nathaniel Newberg is one of our centers. He's pretty vocal about that, about the rebounding, and he's like, "Man, I'm the only one rebounding out there," and I'm not gonna. It's true because sometimes shot goes up, and he's the only one trying to fight for that, and we're all kind of just kept watching. Um, but yes, team rebounding definitely needs work, and that's honestly, if we clean up the boards, probably got some transition, we probably could have probably won this game. I mean, that could have been another way we could have won the game. I feel like clean up the boards and stuff.
Yeah, so, like I said, back to the energy. I felt like for the first three quarters, it was just dead. The crowd was dead. Our team it felt like if someone had died. You know, it was
Yeah.
just down. We were down the whole game. But heading into the fourth, the bench, I know we kind of came together as one. And we were like, okay, we got to get these guys back into the game. So we started our defensive chance. We started getting real excited, and we did make that comeback. We were down, I believe, 2 points. I believe it was
Yeah.
42-40 at one
Mhm.
point, and we were there in the game.
Yeah.
So, like, and even coach said, for the first 5 minutes of the fourth, we were there. We were in that game. Then the last 3 minutes, take us. What happened? What goes in your mind in that last 3 minutes of the game when you're down two with the chance to take the lead and win the game?
All I'm thinking is like, man, right there. Like we got time to work with. We're only down 2, and we could do this. Um, but it was, I think, defensively. I mean, again, it goes back to the rebounding. I feel like defensively, I feel like standing up to our man, the help side. We were there. I feel like the help side was been a little bit better than maybe the past couple games. I'd probably say.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't have, like I said, we don't have the stats of the free throws they took, but it didn't look like they took many free throws. I mean, obviously at the end, we fouled because
Yeah, yeah,
try to get them to miss, but I don't remember them shooting a lot of free throws. I thought that was pretty on both sides. We were pretty even on the free throw shooting. So
yeah.
defensively, yeah, we were great.
Yeah, defensively we were great. Offensively, not so much. I'm trying to think because there was a point where they switched to a zone, and there was a point where we switched into a zone, and there was 3 of us stacked in the corner. It was like me, Ethan, and who else was right there?
But I believe it was Nate or Sam.
Yeah, and we were stacked up, and we didn't. Some of us knew what we were doing, some of us didn't, and we were all on the same page.
So yeah, I believe that's when they went up 6 with about 40 seconds left, and we had called a timeout. So
yeah.
talk about the play that coach drew up, because obviously he drew up a play going against man, but they came out in a 3-2 zone.
We came out
So
in a 3-2 zone, so we couldn't even
we had
even
to.
run.
Yeah, we
So
got the best shot we got was a Sam deep 3.
Yeah.
So is there only one play that gets called in that kind of situation, or what is the coach telling you in that kind of situation of what to look out for and things like that?
I'm gonna be honest. In the huddle when he was drawing up the play, he didn't tell us to, as far as looking at the defense and defensively. He didn't really try to like, oh, watch out if they switch or anything like that. Nothing like that. He pretty much drew up the play, and yeah, I kind of just told us to go do it. I mean, kind of execute it.
And the plan was to shoot a 3 in that spot.
I want to say, yeah, I want to say the first look was a 3. If not, I'm trying to think. Drew, was that? I could be wrong, but was that
believe
the play?
No,
Was
I
that when
believe the play.
Was that when Ethan screened across from me?
No, I believe that was a few plays before. I believe the play that he drew up, I think it was 4-3. I think we were down 49-42 at the time, or 48-42. And
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I believe the ball was supposed to hit Newberg in the post. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you're supposed to hit the ball up on the
it was
the elbow.
You're supposed to on the
elbow. Or the elbow.
We're supposed to look for a 3. That was our first option. But they came out into a zone, and that didn't work
and
out.
Time running down.
Time running down, yeah.
But threw up our best shot.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are talking about that 8-0 run, right, to bring it within 2, and Devin that 3 that you did to make it within 2, right? I mean, you guys had all the momentum, right? But it ended with some free throws, on the other side of the court, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just missed second chance opportunities, right?
Yeah.
In those final couple minutes is kind of what. Is kind of what I was noting there, right?
Yeah, that, and there was one play when they were coming down the court and we were on defense, and they set a pick on, I think their guard was bringing up the ball. They passed it to their wing, and they screened, and I was, what I should have done was get over it and close out on the 3 ball. But I went under it going around because I was thinking Newberg was going to create a gap through, so I could shoot up through the screen. But it didn't happen. So I dropped down, wrapped around. And by the time I got there, the kid shot the 3 and made it a 6-point game.
That was their night shot, basically.
Yeah.
Right. But I looking at it, I mean, granted, I wish we had the videos here as we're talking. We could look at the tape and stuff like that. I didn't, I didn't necessarily say, oh, that was, deep Devin's defense or something. No, I thought, he made it. He made a tough shot, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, we might be able to get the video. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, or you might, or at a later time, you might be able to paste that in here, right? But yeah, that clutch three that kind of sealed it. And then when you're playing the free throw game, it's
Yeah, it's
that's
kind of
just too
hopeful, man.
difficult, right? I
Yeah.
mean, just I think high school sports, or at least the games that I've been watching, it's kind of hit and miss in regards to free throws. I think
Yeah.
it's definitely been better, this year than maybe some of the previous years. It's glad to see, in the fourth quarter, Newberg hit a couple,
Yeah, he did.
free throws. That was huge. That
Yeah,
was
that was
huge,
huge.
actually, to
100%.
kind of keep you guys in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was good, but like we're talking that that call after the timeout, right? I kind of think about obviously this is not the NBA, right? But I'm definitely thinking about the NBA and the Warriors and Steve Kerr and his famous calls coming off a timeout, and then when that play happened, I was like, that was our call, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right there with you. Yeah, it was rough. I mean,
So,
yeah.
so we're 9-12 on the year. We got 3 games left. What do you hope happens in our last 3 games?
I'm
We're three
hoping.
and we're 3-4 in league.
Yeah, 3-4 in league. I mean, my ultimate goal, to be honest, was to win league and get our year on the banner. That was my ultimate goal. Um, that can't happen. I mean, unless a miracle happens, unless Evergreen goes on a little 3-game losing streak, then maybe we have a chance. But
You're not mathematically out of it, huh?
no, nope. But yeah, so that was my goal. But now our eyes are set on playoffs. We have 3 wins right now in league. We need 5 to qualify for CCS playoffs. So ultimately, my goal from here on out is to win these next 3 games, so we qualify for CCS and hopefully have a chance at the championship.
All right, so I'm able to pull up some film right here.
Okay, cool.
So let's see. This is heading to the fourth. So right here we're down what? Oh, that's them shooting free throws. So we're down 45-37 with 5. Oh, this is wrong game. Oh my goodness, that is JV. Why is JV on my? Why is JV on my feed?
So what Drew tries to bring that up, then it was the same team. It was only a 2-point game, the last time you guys played, but I definitely thought this one was more winnable, right? I definitely thought, you guys. I mean, given everything that was kind of happening throughout the game, I definitely thought this was winnable. Player of the game. What do you think? You could even nominate yourself, right? But who do you think that from the Live Oak side was this player of the game?
Player of the game. Probably go with Nate. Nathan Lozano, our point guard. I'd probably go with him. I mean, he's a pretty good guard. I mean, he can facilitate the ball pretty well. His ball handling is pretty good. Not afraid to drive to the basket. His shots around the hoop. I mean, he does hit those. His threes. I mean, I'd say he's probably the player of the game.
Okay. Yeah. No, I gotta say you're probably a little modest there. I think you could have walked away with this one as well, right? Just overall play and things like that. Definitely, Nate has a lot of opportunities and things like that. Granted, there was, some turnovers. I know he's always trying to make a play, Nate's always trying to put it in a tight spot, which doesn't always work out. Tossing it into the big man's. and things like that. And unfortunately, kind of shows a negative stat on his side when it doesn't pan out. But
Yeah.
Okay, so right here we are down 9. I believe they go to the line right here. Yes, I believe he goes 1 for 2 from the line. So right here we're down 10.
yeah. So 30-40. This is when you go on your 8-point run.
Mm-hmm.
There we get a jump ball. Let's see what we're doing here. I mean, I think tough N1. No, tough buckets. Right here I know he goes 1 for 2. We're down 9 still. And let's see. Like defensively, we were, I mean, great. I mean, they weren't getting really any buckets, but like right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Newberg, that was a good
rebound,
play right
but I
there by
mean, we
by
did
Newberg,
Yeah.
stopping
save
their
it.
big
And then
man,
right here, I
right?
believe
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Did we
Oh, turnover.
lose you?
That's when they call the travel. Yeah, I remember that.
So what was the time we were down? I think we were down 42-31.
Let's see.
See what happens here.
Oh, yeah, I remember we get our own
I
rebound.
put the sound on. Tough bucket there.
Very tough. Yeah, right. I was mind blown. It's a really good shot.
And then we like shut him down for I want like a solid 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So right here, like we're down 7.
Yeah.
We have the ball out of an inbound.
Uh-huh. And he. Oh, what happens?
Fouled.
He
He
gets
goes
fouled.
clutch. Big 2 free throws. He goes 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Almost get. I believe this is your 3 right here.
Is it? I think it is.
Yep, it rolls right down.
I thought lucky bounce.
So we're down 2 with 4:50 left.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I believe we just kind of traded buckets. They turned the ball over here.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens? I think it's just bad shot selections.
Yeah. I think did I foul him on that one. I did.
You did,
And
yeah. That was. I know
there's
you were looking at the ref saying, "What, me? No, that was a foul."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then for a while, it's just like it's either it's not scoring or just time being wasted, I believe.
Yeah, we kind of go on a little dry spell.
Okay, we'll get to that silencer 3. So right here, we're down 3. And I believe the play right before Ethan gets an and 1.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
So
From the
right
side,
here,
yeah.
this is it. They get it to the big man. They get it to the point guard.
The big. Yeah.
And then this is coming out the inbound.
Yeah, gets it to him, swings it. They set that pick. Yeah, and he hit that.
Yeah,
That was a big shot.
Yeah, they made quite a few of their points off threes. There was another guy, number 0, that earlier in the game made a couple of them.
He did. Yeah, he did hit a couple threes.
I mean, it's tough because like he has on that screen, he had a lot of driving space, so I could see where you went. Like, okay, he might just drive and get this 2 points, but instead he takes his chance with the open 3 and
just hits it.
I mean, he just knocks it down. So, I mean, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
Definitely tough.
And then we don't score. We don't score for the rest of the game. right?
You
Or no,
never
we can
don't.
get.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, yeah, I believe we could get to the. I believe we call it timeout. We call it
Yeah.
timeout here,
Yeah.
and this is when they come out of.
Yeah,
This
and
is
then
when
the
they come out in
last.
3-2.
So this is the play that we were talking about earlier after the
I believe
timeout.
right there. I believe the ball is supposed to get here, and I believe one of them was supposed to collapse, and he was supposed to kick it out to. I'm pretty sure it was Ethan in the corner, maybe.
I think it
He got
was.
the
Yeah.
ball there. I'm pretty sure he would collapse, but instead, it just gets Sam, and
Yeah. I mean,
then it's the fouling game after that.
and that's the fouling.
So
Yeah, it's hard. That's hard, especially with the 6 point
it's
lead like
hard.
that. It's
Yeah,
very
it's
hard.
hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll transition to something else. I think that's enough about our high school game.
Mm.
As you know, breaking news: Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. What are your thoughts?
Oh man. I mean, this. Let's see what these past how many days. I think it was the on Sat. Was it Saturday when that trade happened with Luca? Was it Saturday?
Saturday might have been
I
Saturday
think.
or
I think
Sunday.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those days. I mean, just all these trades is just like crazy. Like it's just out of nowhere. Like you just these are things you wouldn't really expect, right? But when I saw this one in particular, I'm not gonna lie. I really wasn't. I wasn't too happy with this trade. I mean, who they had to give up, who they
Yeah,
gave
right
up.
here.
Let's see.
Yeah. And you're saying that from a Warrior fan, right? So are you a Warrior fan, or you're just saying just
I'm a huge
overall?
Warrior fan. I'm a huge Warrior fan, but at the same time, looking at the other options, because on Instagram I'd see like different options that and different players that they were looking at. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really pulling for KD. I mean, I know he didn't. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to go back, but I know that was in the talks, and I was just like, oh man, I think KD back, that'd be pretty cool. But I think it was a little mix of the Golden State Warriors fan and the other options we had. I mean, what we could have done.
I'm just wondering how many of the other options were really open, right? Because
Yeah,
they had everybody tied to the Warriors on potential trade deals and
yeah,
things like that. And
yeah,
and KD, I don't know, KD and his mindset and stuff like that. You know, he probably didn't want to go back to the Warriors because people would then say, "Oh, I told you so," right? You know,
yeah.
if he actually comes
That's
back
true. Yeah,
and they do something, right?
yeah,
He's like that, right? At least it seems like it, right? I mean, you know, but yeah, he that would have been a great option, I think, right? But you know, Jimmy Butler is he's a player, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, no doubt. I mean, he's definitely got the talent for sure. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, I feel like he'll do pretty. I think he'll mesh well with Curry, Draymond Green.
yeah.
I mean, we know how Draymond Green is. So hopefully he doesn't go too crazy on him.
Hey, hopefully it doesn't punch him or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you get Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, multiple All Star appearances. Great player,
yeah,
Hall of Fame player. But his game is so similar to Andrew Wiggins. They're both mid-range jumper guys. They'll get in the lane. They play great defense, and it's almost as a Warrior fan myself. I mean, I love Andrew Wiggins.
yeah,
When we first got him, I questioned the move when we traded D'Angelo Russell for him. But then he helped us win that 2022 championship, and you kind of just fell in love with the type of player he was. Sure, sometimes he was inconsistent, but he was always available.
yeah,
And he just gave you everything he had. And so, like for me, I mean, Jimmy Butler, like I said, great player, but it's like you kind of traded a younger version of him for the more expensive version.
yeah,
But for what they gave up, it's not too bad. I mean, Kyle Anderson, great player, but in Steve Kerr's rotation, he wasn't getting most of the
He,
minutes.
yeah.
And same
He
with
was just
Lindy Waters. Lindy Waters, great 3-point shooter. Started off the year great, cooled down a little bit and was kind of out of the rotation. And then Dennis Schroeder, the Warriors acquired Dennis Schroeder, I believe, in
yeah,
December. He was averaging 17 and a half points in Brooklyn. So, and the Warriors needed scoring, so they thought when he would come here, that's what he would replicate. But unfortunately, he was only averaging like 9, 10. So it wasn't the biggest thing to lose. You still have guys like Brandon Pajemski, who just gave you 29 points tonight. And guys like Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga. So you just gotta hope your young guys could mesh well with these older veterans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they kept Kuminga, right? I mean, he was always in the trade talks and things like that as well. And that's one of the pieces I'm like, I think he has still so much upside to his game, right? And Moody's pretty consistent, right? I mean, you give him minutes off the bench, he's gonna help you out when in time of need, right? It's so for what what they gave up, yeah. I mean, I see this as the trade for now, right? I mean, it's only a couple years that he's going to be teaming up with Curry, right? And we'll see how that turns out. Can Kerr make that lineup work, right? I think that's going to be the test. But those other pieces that the Warriors gave up, wasn't the main piece of it. It was really Butler for Wiggins and that first round pick, and it's protected, right? So it's not a top 10 pick.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and then they even gave him, there was rumors or the talks before how he wouldn't sign an extension with Golden State, which is what originally pulled Golden State out of trying to trade for Jimmy Butler. But then they trade for him, and then you question, okay, so is he staying or is he just a 1-year rental and they're going to clear up cap space maybe for next year? But no, he comes in and they signed the 2-year, $121 million extension. So he's here to stay for a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is definitely, I guess you could say, questionable because he is 35 by the time that contract's over. He'll be 37, 38. And, there's a lot of younger guys in the league that got traded today. I mean, Kyle Kuzma went to the Bucks. Middleton to the Wizards. I mean, shoot, even a couple of hours ago, Brandon Ingram got traded to the Raptors. You also see the Warriors were looking at every All-Star. They were looking at Zion, and they were looking at LaMelo, and they ended up with Jimmy Butler. So I feel like, they could have went a different route. They could have went a younger route with the younger All-Star. But I mean, ultimately, it's the waiting game. A waiting game is with every trade. Like, you can't immediately tell who won or who lost the trade until it's all said and done.
Kind of got to see how it plays out and stuff.
So I believe that will conclude all for today. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll catch you all next time.